update on Pradeep and then also your preparation for the selectors?
Yeah, same situation as the last test. Once again, another bowler down. We are waiting for a confirmation from the physio once again. We are giving him time till tomorrow morning, and looks doubtful. But the preparation has been good. We trained extremely hard in the past 3 days, and we know that the Aussies are going to come back really hard at us. So we've trained as much as we possibly could. Sorry, what? Yeah, it's traditionally Galle takes a bit of turn, so it looks like another turner once again.
If you don't get going with no one, what's the option?
You've got Vishwa Fernando. So if no one doesn't play, Vishwa might come in.
And have you known the spot to 12 or the meeting?
Yes, we'll have to announce the 12. With the last, we'll include Vishwa. Still, we've got doubts in one Pradeep. So hopefully, if he doesn't play, Vishwa will make his debut.
And in the last match, one of your bonus points was that David Bourne out scoring, winning in both innings. But it doesn't mean that he's out of form. Do you have anything to do with him for this match?
Yeah, we've got plans for all their batsmen. We've the fast bowling coach together with the bowlers have come out with plans for each and every batter. We can't write off David Warner, and also whoever who didn't get runs in the last game we've got to be cautious about them as well. So stick to the plans, and once again try and bowl in good areas.
How about the team feeding inside the dressing room? Like we won the last test match, so what we can going to do in this match?
Yeah, the feeling is great in the camp. We needed that win badly. After a bit of beating in the last 6 months, and the guys were feeling a bit bit down. But especially after the win in Kandy, it gave us that extra confidence, extra boost going into this Galle test.
Obviously, the group has struggled a bit in this form. You tried out Kuswaja with the group innings in the last game. Is there any sort of thought about the top side and the push?
As selector, we had a chat with the selectors as well, and we just want to try and give the boys another opportunity, because we want to keep the winning combination going. If at all, if we need a change, we will do it. But as of now, we are not thinking of any change in the top order.
And obviously, Sri Lanka has enjoyed quite lucky and goal on most matches. Same cannot be said against Australia. You drawn one game and lost 2 games. Although you're leading the series, one thing that must be back in your mind, the fact that they played really well.
Yeah, definitely. Even the last time that we played against Australia in 2011, we lost the game. And yes, as I always say, we got to stay on top of our game to beat the Australians, whether it's turning or whether it's seaming or whether we play at home or away. They are the number one team, and we need to play our best cricket to win against them. So we will not put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We will try and go out there, enjoy our cricket, play as we did in Kandy, and try and win the series from here.
Australians have spent all week working out how they're going to play spinners.
Sorry, mate, what's that?
Australians have spent all week working out how they're going to play rather than putting on the spinners. Do you feel you have them on edge at the moment? Great a lot of doubt behind them.
Well, I think we can't write off the Australians against Herat. They came up with a different strategy in the second innings. They tried to use the crease a lot. They tried to sweep him a little bit. So they are coming up with different options. We got to be cautious, and we can't write off their, especially their top order. They didn't get runs, but they are a very attacking top order, and we can't let them off the hook. We need to be on our money from the start. And I think it is a tough place to play spin against here, and it'll turn a little bit more than Kandy, I reckon, but still we got to bowl in the right areas to get those wickets.
Do you have any idea of the new replacement for Keith? Do you have any idea of his shot that
Yeah, we saw some videos. He looks like a tall, left armer who lands it on the spot. I mean, to play Test cricket for Australia, he's got to be good. So we assume that he's good, and we saw a bit of videos of him. We don't have that many videos of him, but we got a few videos, and the batters saw him.
Well, you want to go after him.
Sorry.
You want to go after him early, so you can see that.
Well, in Test cricket, I mean, you can't really go after a bowler the whole day. I mean, you got to play on its merit, and I think you got to have a look at him initially and see what he tries to do, especially on these wickets, and how he bowls, what pace he's bowling at, and how he turns the ball, and then you'll get a fair idea of how to play him.
Actually, now considering the less number of overs that Dhananjay bowled in Galle, do you see any sort of difference between in his off spin, like traditional off spinner? Is there any sort of difference?
In Dhananjay?
Yeah.
No, he's a very good bowler. I mean, he's a partnership breaker. But we still got Dilruwan in our squad. He's still our best bowler, when it comes to off spinners. And we have trust in him, we have faith in him. And but Dhananjay has bowled well as well. So I have 4 bowlers to rotate around. අවාසනාවකට නුවන් ප්‍රදීපුත් පාදයේ ආබාධයට ලක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ආයේ හෙට දිනේදී තමයි ඔහු ගැන අතීරණයක් ගන්න. හුඟක් දුරට ඔහු ක්‍රීඩා කරන එකක් නැහැ කියලා තමයි බෞද්ධ චිකිත්සකවරයා කියන්නේ. ඔහු ක්‍රීඩා කරේ නැත්නම් විශ්ව ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ ඉන්නවා අපිට ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න. කණ්ඩායම තත්ත්වයේ කණ්ඩායමේ මම හිතන්නේ ඒ කොන්ෆිඩන්ස් ලෙවල් එක හුඟක් හොඳින් තියෙනවා. මම හිතන්නේ අපි පෞගේ මාස කීපෙ තුළදී යම්කිසි පසුබෑමකින් පස්සේ මේ තරංගයේ දිනීම මම හිතන්නේ කණ්ඩායම ලොකු දෙයක් වුණා. ඉතින් අපේ කණ්ඩායමේ කොන්ෆිඩන්ස් ලෙවල් එක ඉතාමත් හොඳයි. ඉතින් අපි හොඳින් ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ගාල්ලේදී.
Angelo, you obviously lost Lanka Prasad, Dushman Kamira, Lakmal, and now. So have you got any sort of ideas to why so many injuries to fast bowlers?
And also Eranga. Well, I think they've been training extremely hard, and I think the workload, especially Dhammika Prasad and Dushmantha Thamira, broke down initially during England, and they couldn't take part in the rest of the series. So Suranga Lakmal and Nuwan Pradeep had to take part in almost every game, and the workloads also plays a huge role in their injuries. I think if you talk to the physio and the trainer, they always say the amount of cricket that you play and the amount of workloads, and the workload management is important to prevent injuries. So unfortunately we didn't have the backups for the fast bowlers, so we had to go with the same lot of fast bowlers every single game, and that's why probably they ended up getting injured.
Angelo, what would it mean to your team to win a test series at home against the top ranked side with the way the team's been in transformation and given the results in England? How big would that be?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, well, especially beating the number 1 team, and especially playing against Australia, and you win a game against Australia, whether it's home or away, it is a big deal for every country. And I think they've been performing extremely well in the recent past. They've been playing consistent cricket, whether it's at home or away. So it is a big deal for us to win against the Australian team.
Taking a look at Australia's one-day squad, and a few people are surprised that not to see Ben Maxwell in the squad. Given what he did to Sri Lanka in the World Cup in Sydney, are you surprised not to see?
Yeah, a bit of both. I mean, he plays spin, better than most of the Australian batters, and I think he's one player who scores both sides of the wicket, and we are quite happy to see him not in the squad.
Okay. Didn't consider any other changes?
I think it was probably talked about, as you always talk about after losing a test match, but selectors have kept the faith with everyone else, and hopefully we can turn it around here in Galle.
You have looked at the wicket. Have you looked at the wicket?
I have, yes. It looks pretty dry at this stage, so I dare say it'll take some turn this match.
Is it drier than Palakali or?
Yeah, I reckon it's a lot drier than Palakali, so I dare say we'll see a fair bit of spin being bowled again.
Any worries over Warner's form?
No. Yeah, look, obviously wasn't the ideal preparation going into the last Test match. Would have loved to have played the tour match, but having said that, David's he's been in fine form in the IPL. He's been hitting the ball well in the nets, and you know, he's hungry for some runs. So hopefully we'll see some this week from him.
Well,
Steve Colombo's a really good batting track. Lots of draws, recently. Are you wary of that? You thought about that, and does that, give more urgency to give you a win here?
I haven't really thought about Colombo yet, and draw's not really on my mind. I'd like to win both of these next 2 Test matches. So yeah, look, we're going to have to play a bit better than we did in Kandy last week if we want to win out here.
Steve, where are you at with your bowling these days?
Well, the one over I bowled the other day, they actually came out okay. Probably could have used myself and Adam a fraction more in that game, particularly after Stephen went down. But look, to be honest, I haven't been working overly hard at it. I've been trying to concentrate on my batting. So no, if I score runs, then it holds the team in good order, I guess. So I haven't worked overly hard on my bowling, but if there's partnerships and the wicket's turning, then there's a possibility I could be used in this game.
is there anything that you've doing differently to what you did prior to the first test?
In regards to
Is it coming tomorrow's test match?
practice or?
Yeah, strategies and knowing that spin is going to be the key. So is there anything that totally different that you're doing?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work in the nets, spinners bowling, getting the right speeds, and getting used to the breeze here. It's a pretty big breeze, so we could see quite a lot of drift from the spin bowlers, and I guess the batter's just trying to find a way to be successful in these conditions. We haven't been able to do that so far. It's been a while in subcontinent conditions that we've been able to be successful as a batting group, so we're trying to turn that around.
So yeah, John Holland coming in. Steve O'Keefe came on about 45 minutes into the first test. Do you plan on using him pretty early? Is that trying to get that new ball skinny on, the one that Hereth has been so successful using your ball sliding a bit more?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Obviously only having 2 fast bowlers and an all-rounder as well. One of the spinners is probably going to be used pretty early, so the new ball can quite often react differently off the surface and be quite hard to play against. So yeah, there's every opportunity or possibility that a spin bowler could be used early.
Right. Steve, obviously struggled a bit as a team against spin in the last test. Obviously working hard in the net side. What sort of things do you do as a team in that situation to improve working against spin?
I guess a lot of the players individually, we all play differently, so it's about finding a way to be successful here. I think looking at our dismissals in the last Test match, majority of us got beaten on the inside of the bat by balls that went straight on. So we're trying to get our pad out of the way essentially, and play with our bat. That's a good starting point. So I think guys have been working on that, batting at on different guards or opening their front leg up a little bit to get that out of the way. So guys have been working hard on it. We know what we need to do. It's just about implementing that in the game.
Well, Steve, what's spin about? What are the other factors that makes life so difficult for touring teams in the subcontinent, Sri Lanka, especially Australia?
Well, I think it's just such foreign conditions to what we're used to in Australia. I think generally the ball in Australia, spin bowlers just get the ball to not react too differently off the surface. You can hit through the line of the ball. There's a lot more bounce, so there's quite there's a small margin for error as a spin bowler in Australia. You've probably got a bigger margin for error over in the subcontinent. and just the ball that reacts differently off the surfaces. So it is very foreign, and guys have been working very hard to try and get used to these conditions as much as possible. But having said that, out in the middle with the extra pressures, guys around the bat, guys bowling well, it can be difficult to handle sometimes, and we have to get better at handling those when we're out in the middle.
Is reverse swing something you're thinking about ahead of this match? It can sometimes go ahead.
Yeah, I've heard it has reversed quite a lot here in the past. I'd say the breeze probably helps that a bit. So yeah, the wicket looks pretty dry and could be quite abrasive. So it could certainly come into play for us. That's for sure.
How would you describe the mood in the rooms after the last 3 days? Are they excited to get out and sort of right or wrong, or are they disappointed and flat, or are they angry?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit disappointed and flat initially, and I think now the mood's, I guess, brightened up a bit. It's about trying to turn it around. I don't think an Australian side's come back from 1-0 down in the subcontinent, so we're all about trying to rewrite history, and it'd be great to do that on this tour.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.